Japan has some of the smallest homes in the developed world, apartments that would make most Westerners claustrophobic, kitchens the size of a closet, storage that barely exists. And somehow, those homes are among the cleanest, calmest, most organized, most genuinely livable spaces on Earth. They're not doing it with money. They're not doing it with space. They're doing it with a few hundred small, clever, almost absurdly cheap ideas that have been passed down and refined for generations, most of which cost nothing at all and almost none of which you've ever heard of. Today I'm going to give you 50 of them. Not vague philosophy, 50 specific usable things you can start doing tonight, most of them free, and the rest costing a few dollars at most. I've grouped them by room so you can jump to whatever's causing you the most pain. And I'll tell you now. Number 23 is the one that will save you the most time for the least effort. And number 47 is the one almost nobody outside Japan knows. And it's the reason Japanese homes don't smell. Let's go. 30 seconds before we start, because this will make every single hack land harder. Almost everything you've been taught about keeping a home is built on correction. You let the mess happen, and then you correct it. Usually on a weekend. Usually resentfully. Usually for hours. It's reactive. And it's why you're always losing, because you're always waiting for the problem to fully arrive before you deal with it. Every hack on this list runs on the opposite principle: prevention. Stop the dirt before it enters. Kill the mess while it's still 10 seconds old. Remove the conditions that create odor rather than spraying perfume over it. Own less so there's less to clean at all. That's the difference, and it's why a Japanese home stays effortlessly clean while yours fights you. It isn't that they work harder. It's that they intervene earlier, at the exact moment when intervening is nearly free. A splash of grease wiped now takes 10 seconds. The same grease in a week takes 30 minutes. That gap, between now and later, is where your entire weekend disappears. Keep that in mind as we go. Every hack below is a small act of prevention. Here they are. Everything starts at the door. Get this right and every other room in your house gets easier. 1. Take your shoes off and make it effortless. The single highest leverage habit in this entire video. Shoe soles carry hundreds of thousands of bacteria along with dirt, pollen, and outdoor grime. And in most homes, all of it gets walked straight across the floors where children play and pets sleep. But the reason no shoes rules fail isn't willpower. It's friction. Put a rack right at the door. Add a stool so people can sit to remove them. The rule only works if taking your shoes off is the easiest option in the moment. Cost: nothing. If you already own a chair. 2. Point your shoes toward the door. When you take them off, turn them so the toes face the exit. It takes half a second. Tomorrow morning, you step straight into them and leave. No fumbling, no turning, no delay. It's a tiny act of care for your future self, and it's done in every Japanese entryway without a second thought. 3. Keep a pair of indoor slippers by the door. This does 2 things at once. It makes shoes off feel like a reward rather than a rule, and it keeps your feet off cold floors. Guests especially need this. Nobody wants to pad around a stranger's house in socks. A cheap basket of slippers by the door converts a rule into hospitality. 4. Never let the entryway floor hold anything. No shoes piled up, no delivery boxes, no bags dropped on the way in. In Japan, the entryway is treated as a threshold, and the rule is simple. Nothing stays on the floor. Practically, it means the first thing you see coming home is order rather than chaos, and that single image sets your mood for the entire evening. 5. Make the entryway your drop zone, with limits. Give keys, mail, and the small daily objects one designated home right at the door, a single dish or hook, not a growing pile. Everything that enters gets sorted at the threshold, rather than migrating deeper into the house. The entryway is a filter, not a storage unit. A quiet note before the kitchen. Every idea on this list runs on one thing underneath it: the sense that your home should give you peace, not demand it. In Japan, that idea has a name: Wabi-Sabi. I wrote a small book on it, Wabi-Sabi, Finding Peace in an Imperfect Life, for when you want the calm that lives beneath the cleaning. It's the first link below, if it calls to you. Now, the kitchen. The kitchen generates more mess, faster than any other room, which means it's where the biggest wins live. 6. Clean while you cook. While something simmers, wipe the counter. While water boils, put ingredients away. Rinse the prep bowl the second it's empty. By the time the food is ready, the kitchen is already almost clean. This is the single biggest difference between a Japanese kitchen and a Western one. Cleaning isn't a separate event that happens after cooking, it's woven into cooking, using the dead time that already exists. You're not adding minutes to your evening. You're using the ones you were already standing around waiting through. And the payoff is enormous. You sit down to eat in a clean kitchen instead of eating with a mountain of cleanup looming over you. 7. Wipe the stovetop while it's still warm. Grease lifts off a warm stovetop with a single pass of a cloth. The same grease, cold and cooked over again tomorrow, becomes a hardened layer that resists everything. This is chemistry, not effort. 10 seconds now beats 20 minutes next week. 8. Dry your sink every night. 90 seconds, and it's the reason Japanese kitchens don't smell. More on this at number 47. It's important enough that I'm giving it its own moment. 9. Never let the dish rack become storage. Wash, dry, and put away. One continuous motion. A dish rack permanently occupying your counter is a task left unfinished, and it steals your most valuable workspace. Finish the loop. 10. Keep the counter clear of appliances. If you're not using it right now, it doesn't live on the counter. Every appliance on display eats workspace, collects grease, and adds visual noise. Store them and bring them out when needed. Your kitchen will feel twice the size. 11. Use vertical space. Hooks, not drawers. Japanese kitchens are famously tiny, so they built upward instead of outward. Hooks on the wall for utensils, a magnetic strip for knives, hanging organizers on the inside of cabinet doors, rails with S-hooks for pans and cups. The logic is simple. Horizontal surfaces are precious and limited. You cook on them, you work on them. Walls are essentially free real estate, and almost nobody uses them. Moving your utensils from a drawer to a wall hook does two things at once. It frees up drawer and counter space, and it puts the tool exactly where your hand can grab it without opening anything. A handful of hooks costs a few dollars and can genuinely make a cramped kitchen feel like a different room. 12. Buy fewer, better tools. One excellent knife beats 5 mediocre ones. A drawer packed with near-identical spatulas creates decision friction every time you open it. Fewer tools means less clutter, less cleaning, and genuinely better cooking. 13. Ditch the single-use gadgets. The avocado slicer, the egg separator, the garlic peeler. Each solves a tiny problem and then occupies a drawer for the other 360 days of the year. A good knife does all of it. Reclaim the drawer. 14. Line the edges of your stovetop with foil. A cheap trick used widely in Japan. A thin strip of foil around the burner edges catches grease splatter. When it's dirty, you throw it away and replace it. The stovetop underneath stays essentially spotless. Cost? Pennies. 15. Keep a small cloth hanging by the sink. Not in a drawer, hanging, visible, within reach. The moment a cloth requires you to go and find it, you won't use it. A hook by the sink and a cloth on it removes the friction that stops you wiping things immediately. 16. Empty your fridge before it's full. Japanese fridges tend to be visibly less packed. You can see everything in them at a glance. Here's why that matters financially. An overstuffed fridge is where food goes to be forgotten. You buy it, it gets buried behind 3 other things, you never see it again, and 2 weeks later you throw it out. A huge share of household food waste is simply food people lost track of. A fridge you can see into is a fridge that wastes almost nothing, which is real money, every single week. There's a bonus too. A packed fridge can't circulate cold air properly, so it works harder and costs more to run. 17. Store food so you can see it. Clear containers, front-facing labels, nothing buried at the back. You will only ever eat what you can see. Everything else becomes a science experiment you eventually throw away. That's the kitchen handled. But the next section is where the real money is, because the first hack in it is going to let you throw away almost everything currently sitting under your sink and replace it with 2 things that cost less than a coffee. This is the section that saves you both money and your weekends, and it starts with the one that will genuinely annoy you once you realize how long you've been paying for something you never needed. 18. Replace every cleaning product with 2, white vinegar and baking soda. Vinegar is acidic. It dissolves limescale, hard water stains, and grease. Baking soda is alkaline. It gently scrubs and genuinely neutralizes odors rather than perfuming over them. Between the two, you've covered nearly every cleaning job in the house. Total cost? Under $5. 2 important notes. Never use vinegar on natural stone like marble or granite, and never mix any cleaner with bleach. 19. Soak. Don't scrub. The biggest mistake people make. Don't spray and wipe immediately. Lay a vinegar-soaked cloth on the deposit, walk away for 10 minutes, and come back. The chemistry does the work your arm was doing. This one shift makes vinegar go from meh to devastating. 20. Wrap your faucet, hard water crust around taps. Soak a cloth in undiluted vinegar. Wrap it around the faucet. Leave 20 minutes. Wipe the mineral buildup you've been scrubbing at for years. Comes away like it was never there. 21. Baking soda in the drain. Vinegar after. Once a week, the fizzing reaction physically dislodges the grease and gunk inside the pipe. You'll never buy a chemical drain cleaner again, and those are genuinely harsh on your pipes anyway. 22. Clean the toilet for 30 seconds a day. Most people clean the toilet when it looks dirty, which means it's already well past clean. Japan does the opposite. A quick daily wipe, 30 seconds with a disposable sheet or cloth, not a scrubbing session, just to pass around the seat and surfaces. Here's the logic, and it's the same logic underneath half this video. Removing a tiny amount of grime every day is vastly disproportionately easier than removing a large amount once a month. Because the toilet is wiped daily, it never reaches the stage where cleaning it becomes a genuinely unpleasant job requiring chemicals and dread. It just stays clean, permanently, for seconds of effort. You also get rid of something you probably don't consciously register, the low-level guilt of a bathroom you've been avoiding. 23. The 2-minute rule. Here it is, the biggest time saver in this entire video, and it costs you nothing. If a task takes under 2 minutes, do it the instant you notice it. Rinse the cup, wipe the splash. Hang the jacket. Your Saturday cleaning disaster is not one big event, it's 1,000 2-minute tasks you postponed until they hardened. Kill each one while it's still 2 minutes and the disaster never assembles itself. 24. Squeegee the shower after every use. 30 seconds with a cheap squeegee, a few dollars at most, and you remove the water that would otherwise evaporate and leave behind soap scum and limescale. Here's the thing almost nobody understands. Soap scum isn't dirt you failed to clean. It's mineral deposit left behind by water that was allowed to dry on the glass. Remove the water, and the deposit never forms. Do this consistently, and you may genuinely never need to deep clean your shower again, which is one of the most hated cleaning jobs there is. Gone permanently for 30 seconds a day. 25. Clean floors on your hands and knees, occasionally. The traditional method, Zokengake, not for daily use, but done occasionally it catches everything a standing mop glides straight over. The corners, the baseboards, the dirt under the furniture edge. Standing up, you move dirt around. Down close, you actually see and remove it. 26. Open your windows every morning. 5 minutes while you get dressed. Costs nothing, requires zero effort, and it removes the stale air that makes a home feel heavy and slightly stuffy, without you ever being able to name why. 27. Baking soda on carpets and fabric. Sprinkle lightly, leave 15 minutes. Vacuum up. It pulls odor out of the fibers. Air freshener just sprays perfume on top of a smell that's still there. This actually removes it. 28. Do a 15-minute morning reset. Make the bed, open a window, wipe the counter, swipe the bathroom sink. 15 minutes and your home returns to zero every single morning, which means the gap between my house now and my house clean is never allowed to grow big enough to require a Saturday. Japan is the undisputed world champion of living well in a small space because it had no choice. Land is expensive, homes are compact, and storage is minimal. So over generations, Japanese homes developed a set of ideas that make a small space feel genuinely spacious rather than cramped. If you've ever felt your home is simply too small, this section may change your mind about that entirely, because the Japanese answer isn't get more space, it's make your space do more. And hack 33 is the one that will feel wrong to you at first and then quietly change how your entire home feels. 29. Give every single object a home. Not most things, everything. Keys, chargers, scissors, mail, the thing you can never find. Here's the mechanism, and it's more powerful than it sounds. Mess forms because putting something away requires a decision. Where does this go? and that tiny hesitation is enough to make you set it down for now on the nearest surface instead. Multiply that by 30 objects a day, and you have a cluttered home. But when everything already has a designated address, that hesitation vanishes. Putting away stops being a decision and becomes a reflex. Clutter is just homeless objects, and the fix isn't more storage. It's addresses. 30. Think vertical, not horizontal. Fill your walls, not your floors. Hooks, shelves, hanging organizers, over-door racks. A clear floor makes even a tiny room feel open and calm. And floor clutter is what makes small spaces feel suffocating. 31. Store things upright, not stacked. File your clothes vertically in the drawer instead of stacking them in piles. You can see every item at once. Nothing gets buried at the bottom, and the drawer stops being an archaeological dig. This applies to pans, lids, and files too. 32. Use the space under your bed, deliberately, not as a junk void. Flat labeled containers, holding specific categories, off-season clothing, spare bedding, undeliberate underbed storage is just hidden clutter. 33. Protect empty space on purpose. This is the one I promised you, and it will feel wrong at first. It's called Ma, the Japanese principle that emptiness is not a lack, not a gap waiting to be filled, but a presence in its own right. It's the silence between two notes that turns noise into music. Now, notice your own instinct. Empty wall, hang something. Empty corner, put a plant there. Empty shelf, fill it. We treat emptiness as a problem and we solve it relentlessly until every surface in the house is occupied. And here's the cost you've been paying without knowing. Every object in your visual field is something your brain quietly processes. A room crowded with things generates a constant low hum of visual noise, dozens of tiny signals your mind registers all day. You don't experience it as noise. You experience it as a vague, unnameable inability to settle in your own home. So the next time you see an empty space, leave it, deliberately. And over the following weeks, notice how the room makes you feel. That emptiness isn't a gap in your home. It's the part of your home that's giving something back to you. And if that idea just landed, that emptiness can give something back to you, you've just touched the heart of Wabi-Sabi. It's the whole idea my book is built on, that a home and a life don't have to be full or finished or perfect to be enough. Wabi-Sabi, Finding Peace in an Imperfect Life. The first link below, if you'd like the quieter thing underneath all of this. Now, back to the space. 34. One in, one out. Every new thing that enters, one old thing leaves. This single rule permanently stops your home from accumulating more. And it forces you to actually want something before you buy it. 35. Furniture that does two jobs. Storage benches, a table that folds away, a futon that becomes a bed at night and disappears by day. In Japanese homes, rooms change function through the day because the furniture doesn't lock the space into one identity. 36. Keep the floor clear, nothing on the floor that doesn't have to be there. Floor space is the single strongest visual signal of, this room is spacious. Clear the floor and a small room grows, without a wall moving. 37. Divide space with light, movable things, screens, curtains, low shelves, not permanent walls. Traditional Japanese homes use sliding doors precisely so a space can be one big room or two small ones depending on need. Flexibility beats permanence. 38. Store what you use where you use it. Sounds obvious, almost nobody does it. Coffee things by the kettle, cleaning cloth by the sink, shoes by the door. Every step between an object and its point of use is friction. And friction is what makes you not bother. Now, before we get to the last 5, which are the ones that genuinely change everything, a quick run through the 2 rooms nobody enjoys dealing with. 39. Cover the bathtub after use. A lid or cover keeps the heat in, so the next person's bath stays warm, reduces humidity in the bathroom, and stops dust from falling in. Seconds of effort, and it's standard in Japanese homes. 40. Air dry your laundry. Japanese homes air dry almost everything. And it's not just about the electricity bill, though that saving is real and immediate. Here's the part most people never think about. Ever wonder what that lint in your dryer's filter actually is? It's your clothes. It's fibers being torn off your garments by heat and tumbling load after load. A tumble dryer is quite literally a machine that slowly disintegrates your clothing while you pay it to do so. Air drying skips that entirely. Your clothes keep their color, their shape, and their fibers, and they last dramatically longer, which means you buy fewer clothes, which is a saving far bigger than the electricity. 41. Hang clothes in the shape they should keep. Use proper hangers, not thin wire ones which distort the shoulders of your clothes over time and leave those little bumps. Sturdy matched hangers also make a wardrobe look instantly calmer. 42. Wipe the bathroom sink after brushing your teeth. 10 seconds while the toothpaste flecks and water splashes are still wet. Let them dry, day after day, and you get crusted mineral buildup that eventually needs chemicals and scrubbing. 43. Give the toilet its own zone. Japanese homes often have a separate pair of slippers used only in the toilet room. The principle: what touches the toilet floor stays with the toilet floor. It doesn't travel into the kitchen. Even without a separate room, keeping toilet cleaning cloths strictly separate from everything else is a real hygiene upgrade. 44. Ventilate the bathroom after every shower. Leave the door open, run the fan, crack the window, whatever works in your bathroom, but do something every single time. Mold is not bad luck and it isn't dirt. It's the entirely predictable result of warm, damp air sitting in an enclosed space with nowhere to go. Give that moisture somewhere to escape and mold simply cannot establish itself. Trap it in, day after day, and it's a certainty. And once it's in the grout and the sealant, it's genuinely difficult and expensive to remove. This is prevention in its purest form. 2 seconds of effort now, versus a problem that costs real money and a weekend to fix later. And notice once again that the Japanese approach isn't cleaning the mold better. It's making sure the conditions for mold never exist. 45. Keep bathroom surfaces almost bare. Bottles, jars, and products crowding every surface make the room impossible to wipe down and make a small bathroom feel cramped. Store what you can. Clear surfaces clean themselves in seconds. These last 5 are different from everything above. The first 45 are techniques. These 5 are the ones that, if you took nothing else from this video, would still transform your home on their own. 46. Wipe as you pass. Not a routine, a habit. When you're waiting for the kettle, wipe the counter. 10 seconds. Japanese homes stay clean not because of a big weekly effort, but because tiny moments of cleaning are woven invisibly into the day. 47. Dry the sink before bed. And here's why. The one I promised you. After the last dish, take 90 seconds and dry your kitchen sink completely. Basin, rim, around the faucet. Here's the mechanism. The sour, indefinable smell that develops in a kitchen is produced by bacteria, and bacteria need one thing above all to multiply: moisture. A wet sink overnight is a warm, damp basin holding traces of food. 8 hours of that every night for years. Dry it, and you don't remove the smell. You remove the conditions the smell requires. You wake to a kitchen that smells like nothing at all. And that's the deepest lesson in this whole video. Japanese homes don't clean problems, they prevent the conditions that create them. 48. Own less and everything gets easier. This is the quiet multiplier behind every other hack on this list. And it's the one people skip because it's uncomfortable. Every single object you own is a cleaning obligation. It has to be stored, dusted, moved out of the way, organized, cleaned around, maintained, eventually replaced. That shelf of decorative objects has to be dusted. Every one of them. That crowded counter has to be wiped around. That drawer of might need someday items has to be dug through every time you're looking for something else. None of that shows up as cleaning on your mental list, but it's there, quietly making every task in your home slower and harder. So here's what makes this different from a one-time declutter. Owning less doesn't just tidy your home once. It permanently lowers the amount of cleaning your home will ever require for the rest of the time you live in it. Have your possessions and you've roughly halved the work, forever. Every hack above gets faster and easier the less you own. It's the closest thing to a cheat code in this entire video. 49. Prepare tomorrow, tonight, 2 minutes before bed. Coffee prepped, keys where you'll find them, the counter clear. You're not cleaning, you're giving tomorrow morning you a head start. And a morning that begins in an ordered home starts on a completely different footing than one that begins in chaos. 50. Treat all of it as care, not chore. The most important one, and it's free. Every habit here dies if it stays a resented duty. Nothing on earth is harder to sustain than a chore you hate. Japanese culture frames cleaning closer to care, a small act of respect for your space, and by extension, yourself. Wiping the counter isn't a task you owe someone. It's a 2-minute message that this space and the person in it are worth the effort. Reframe it that way, and you keep doing it, not through willpower, which always runs out, but because it genuinely feels good. Look back at the whole list and notice the single thread running through it. Almost none of these are about cleaning harder. Nearly everyone is about prevention, stopping mess, dirt, odor, and clutter from ever forming, at the exact moment when stopping them costs almost nothing. Shoes at the door, so dirt never enters. The 2-minute rule, so mess never accumulates. The dry sink, so odor never forms. Fewer possessions, so there's less to clean at all. That's the real Japanese secret. And it's almost the opposite of what cleaning trains us to expect. You will never clean less by cleaning harder. You clean less by building tiny habits that mean there's nothing left to clean. And underneath all 50 of these is something quieter than cleaning. It's the sense that your home is allowed to be a place of rest instead of a project that never ends. That you and your ordinary, imperfect, unfinished home are already enough. That's what I wrote my book about. Wabi-Sabi, Finding Peace in an Imperfect Life. A few pages at a time, by a window or beside your bed. It's the first link below and pinned in the comments. And here's what matters most. Do not try to do all 50. That's the trap. The big motivated overhaul that collapses by Wednesday. Pick one, just one. I'd suggest number 47, dry your sink tonight 90 seconds. And tomorrow morning, notice what it feels like to walk into a kitchen that smells like nothing at all. That single small win is what makes the next one easy. Now I want to hear from you. Which number are you starting with tonight? Drop it in the comments. Just the number, because saying it out loud is the first real step toward actually doing it. And if any of these are going to save you time or money, share this with one person who's still losing their entire Saturday to a house that never stays clean. I'll see you in the next one.